Phil, my heroes. How could I even be in the same room with them? And we started talking about how we would get into the General Electric building. And, you know, we thought of different things. We didn't have a plan. We didn't know what was inside, or, you know, where we would go inside. And, you know, we actually said, well, if we get stopped at the door, we'll kneel and pray there. And if we get stopped at various places inside, that's what we would do. But we were still trying to figure out, you know, isn't there some way we can find out something? And somebody, I don't want to say it was Phil, but it could have been, said, well, what about a floral delivery truck? And they could bring in some flowers and, you know, take a look around. And I thought, what am I doing here? This is the Perrigans? But the amazing thing is that it wasn't us, it was Grace. You know, we walked through the door, Carl and Ann stopped and put their hand on, on the phone, I believe, for the security guard who was reaching for it, and we just sort of slipped by, walked down the hall, turned, I think, to the left, and there was a room which was the test room. And there were these little, you know, you imagine, don't you imagine that nuclear weapons, I mean, I felt that they were almost beyond thinking about it, just unreal. And here were these little things that looked like highway markers. And one was up on a table, and it was a goldish color. It was like, it looked like aluminum. It was some kind of metal, and it had lines around it. And, you know, I don't use a hammer very much. But I hit that hammer, and a little piece hit me under here. And they're not really invulnerable. They really are not. We're vulnerable, but so are they. And that means that human beings have made these, and human beings can unmake them.
Amen.
And that was a revelation. I'd just like to say that there are a number of people in this very room who have done Plowshares Actions, and I'd really like to have you all stand up. Yes. And there's so many more, not only in this country, but in other parts of the world, that it's absolutely astounding that we have this community, and all of you, every single person here, is part of that community of faith, of hope, and of determination, and vulnerability, but willing to go through that vulnerability and step into hope, not optimism or pessimism, hope. And it begins with that step one takes, that it begins to take flesh. And that's my hope for all of us.
I'd like to ask Steve Kelly and Bill Bixel and Susan Crane, if you could please join me up here at my left for a moment. Steve and Bill and Susan, Lynn Greenwald, who's home, I think with her new grandchild in Washington State, and gosh darn, what continuity, Ann Montgomery. Took part in the latest Plowshares action, and they're still waiting for the other shoe to fall. The federal government charged them initially, and on the eve of their arraignment, dropped those charges and said, well, we're thinking about a felony now. And I guess they're still thinking. But we'd like to come on up here. I'd like each of you to present something. We have a little memento of our appreciation for the Plowshares 8 and Ann, I don't know how we're going to do this. But maybe Ann can pass from her left hand to her right hand a little memento with a photo of the Plowshares 8 and Swords into Plowshares on the other side. And this is a unique set, and we're going to share this little memento of our appreciation as a movement with Plowshares 8. I hope it's not too much. I brought boxes so y'all can ship them home or pack them safely here. Bill? Okay, well that would be good. If you want to take one to Dan, that would be great. We do have one for Dan and for Dean also.
Make sure you have copies.
Well, you can give, well here, you've already got yours. Steve, here, I'll take the box. Yeah. So, go ahead. Susan, go ahead and present some Molly. We'll send one with Ann to give to Dan, and we'll send one to Dean Hammer at home. He'll be surprised.